Welcome to the Madison Miller Podcast. Today is Tuesday, May 14th, 2024. Today I'm going to recap the NBA Stanley Cup playoffs from yesterday. Look ahead to tonight's games in each sport. There was baseball, soccer, WNBA, and then predict how the season's going to play out. A bet for the portfolio, news and notes, and best bet. We'll start with the NBA playoffs. Interesting night last night. One predictable result and one crazy game. Celtics over the Cavaliers 109-102 to take a 3-1 series lead. Going back to Boston for Game 5. And Donovan Mitchell is out for the rest of the series. Because of that injury. So, that, really, injury came out of nowhere. So, very, very crazy. And the Thunder come back and beat the Mavs 196 to even up the series at 2 apiece. Just a bad collapse by the Mavericks down the stretch. And credit to the Thunder for taking advantage. All right, 2 games tonight, 8 o'clock TNT. Pacers next, Game 5. That series is 2-2. My line is Knicks 2.5. Total 231 and a fifth. And the Knicks are favored. Last night it was 2.5. Let's see what it is now. It's only down to 2. Ooh. Everyone's betting on the Pacers. Total 217. I like the over. Anytime the Pacers are involved, it's an over. But I think the total's a referendum on the Knicks and how beat up they are. And that line is moving towards the Pacers. But Game 5, that line went down, and people were betting on the Knicks, and then the Pacers blew out the Knicks. So you never know. I do have a little bit of Pacers 2.5, so I got the better of the number. But I did that to hedge a big parlay that I did that has multiple legs. Knicks minus 1.5 games. Panthers series winner. Nuggets series winner when they were down 0-1. Boston minus 2.5 games. So they just got to win Game 5 without Donovan Mitchell. Rangers beat the Hurricanes. Mavs beat the Thunder. Stars beat the Avs. And then the Canucks beat the Oilers. And the payout is $468. So, I hedged and took Indiana. Plus the points. But 2 is a little low. So what I might do is do Indiana alternate spread, but I really do like the over in this game too. But I feel like this is going to be a one-possession game. That's why I took the Pacers plus the points. I don't think necessarily the Pacers are going to win outright, but I think it's a one-possession game. I don't make a crazy prediction on the podcast right now. I think the Knicks win at the buzzer. We have not had a buzzer beater yet in the playoffs. And it'd be crazy. If I could totally see, like, Brunson hitting a buzzer beater, like, either a long 2, a fadeaway jumper, or even a 3-pointer at the buzzer. Maybe the Pacers are winning by 1 point and Brunson hits the buzzer shot and then the Knicks win by 2. Or maybe it's a tied game and Brunson hits a fadeaway jumper to win by 2. And that would mean the Pacers would push +2. So I'm going to say the Knicks win by 2, but at the buzzer. And the second game, 10:30 on TNT, Wolves Nuggets. My line's Nuggets by 3, total 221. It's 4.5 and 206. I would take the over and hope somebody gets hot from 3. Maybe it's Aaron Gordon. Maybe it's Naz Reid. But I also do like the T-Wolves to potentially cover 4.5. And I think we're going to have 2 really close games tonight. But I think that Denver wins. And that's the result I feel the best about for today. And I think the Knicks barely win. All right, on the hockey. Very interesting night last night for sure. None of those games were close. Well, the first game was close, and then the Hurricanes had a barrage in the third period and win 4-1 to take to force a Game 6 back in Raleigh after being down 3-0 in the series. Crazy. And a stunning collapse by the Rangers. And the Avalanche are like, hold my beer to the Rangers as they fall 5-1 at home. And Dallas takes a 3-1 series lead. So as bad as the Rangers looked, the Avalanche probably looked worse. You would think, right? I thought the Avalanche looked worse. Georgiev's not that good. Especially early on in that game, the Avalanche were terrible. The shots were like 23-7 in favor of Dallas. And then the Rangers collapse happened all in one period. The Avalanche got it poured on them. So, hockey tonight, 7 o'clock, ESPN, Bruins, Panthers. Panthers looking to close out the series. Bruins looking to force a Game 6. Panthers -10, Bruins +172, over under 5.5. Overs -104, unders -118. Bruins +1.5 is -160. Panthers -1.5 is +132. Tough one. Elimination game, I like the under. In 9:30 on ESPN, Canucks Oilers game 4. All the pressure in the world on Edmonton. Vancouver has a 2-1 series lead. Edmonton's -205, Vancouver +168, over under 6.5. Overs -102, unders -120. Canucks +1.5 is -154. Edmonton -1.5 is +128. Over. That's like an auto bet. The overs in that series. At gunpoint, who wins? I'm going to say Florida closes out and the Oilers even it up at 2. All right, now move on to baseball. We'll go over the results from yesterday, and then today we'll look at those games too. Jays over the O's 3-2. So the Yankees and the O's are tied for first in the division. Tigers over the Marlins 6-5. Phillies over the Mets 5-4-10. There's a bad call in that game. Rays over the Red Sox 5-3. Braves over the Cubs 2-0. Best bet wins. Pirates over the Brewers 8-6. Nats White Sox postponed. Make-up date today. Guardians over the Rangers 7-0. Astros over the A's 9-2. Cards over the Angels 10-5. D-backs over the Reds 6-5. Rockies over the Padres 5-4. Mariners over the Royals 6-2. Dodgers over the Giants 6-4-10. All right, 1 o'clock today, Phillies Mets from City. Aaron Nola, Jose Budo. Phil's -142, Mets +120, over under 8, -110 each way. Phil's -1.5 is +122, Mets +1.5 is -146. Based on reputations, I think that most people would go under, but I actually like the over. because Aaron Nola, for some reason, struggles against the Mets and struggles in the regular season sometimes, so I'm going to take the over in that one. Doubleheader Game 1, Nats White Sox. Trevor Williams, Chris Flexen. Nats minus 120, White Sox plus 102 over under 8.5, minus 110 each way. Nats minus 1.5 is plus 130, White Sox plus 1.5 is minus 56. I like the under. Jays O's at 6:30. Chris Bassett, Kyle Bradish. O's minus 164, Jays plus 138, over under 8.5. Overs even money, unders minus 122. Jays plus 1.5 is minus 146. O's minus 1.5 is plus 122. Tough one. I'm going to lay the run line with the O's. Marlins, Tigers, Ryan Weathers, Reese Olson. Tigers minus 184, Marlins plus 154, over under 8, overs minus 104, unders minus 118. Marlins plus 1.5 is minus 40, Tigers minus 1.5 is plus 116. I'm going to go with the under. Next up, Rays Red Sox from Fenway. Aaron Savali, Nick Pivetta. Boston minus 120, Rays plus 102, over under 9, overs minus 106, unders minus 114. Rays minus 1.5 plus 146. Red Sox plus 1.5 is minus 78. I like the under. 7:20 Cubs Braves. Jamison Tyon, Chris Sale. Braves minus 196. Cubs plus 164, over under 8. Overs minus 112. Unders minus 108. Cubs plus 1.5 is minus 132. Braves minus 1.5 plus 110. I like the under. 7:40 TBS. Yanks Twins. Carlos Rodon, Chris Paddock. Yanks minus 136, Twins plus 116, over under 8.5, minus 110 each way. Yanks minus 1.5 plus 132, Twins plus 1.5 is minus 146. I like the under. Pirates Brewers. Quinn Priester, Joe Ross. Brewers minus 162, Pirates plus 136, over under 8.5, overs minus 115, unders minus 105. Pirates plus 1.5 is minus 154, Brewers minus 1.5 plus 128. I like the over. Doubleheader Game 2, Nats White Sox. Mitchell Parker and Eric Feed. Pick a minus 180 each way, over under 8.5. Overs minus 106, unders minus 114. Nats minus 1.5 plus 150. White Sox plus 1.5 is minus 182. Eric Feed against his old team. So this is a good one. We'll go with the Nats on the money line. 8 o'clock, Guardians, Rangers. Ben Lively, Jack Leiter. Rangers minus 120, Guardians plus 102, over under 9, overs minus 115, unders minus 105. Guardians minus 1.5 plus 150, Rangers plus 1.5 is minus 182. I like the Guardians plus 102. Jack Leiter's been terrible so far. 9:30, Cards, Angels. Sonny Gray, Reed Detmers. Cards minus 142. Angels plus 120, over under 7.5. Overs minus 115. Unders minus 105. Cards minus 1.5 plus 118. Angels plus 1.5 is minus 140. I like the under. Reds Diamondbacks. Hunter Green Slates Sony. Reds minus 102. D-backs minus 116, over under 8.5. Overs minus 112. Unders minus 106. Reds minus 1.5 plus 102. D-backs plus 1.5 is minus 184. Reds favored on the run line. D-backs favored on the money line. I'm going to take the Reds on the money line, minus 102. I apologize. We skipped the game. A's Astros at 8 o'clock. JP Sears, Renel Blanco. Astros minus 196. A's plus 164, over under 8.5. Minus 110 each way. A's plus 1.5 is minus 128. Astros minus 1.5 is plus 106. I like the under. Back to 9:30, Rockies Padres. Cal Quantrill, Dylan Cease. Padres minus 275. Rockies plus 225. Over under 7. Overs minus 115. Unders minus 105. Rocks plus 1.5 is plus 105. Padres minus 1.5 minus 126. I like the under. Royals Mariners. Michael Wacha, Logan Gilbert. Mariners minus 154. Royals plus 130. Over under 7. Overs minus 132. Others even money. Royals plus 1.5 is minus 172. Mariners minus 1.5 is plus 142. Tough one. But I'm going to lay the Mariners on the run line. And then last but not least, Dodgers, Giants, 9:45. Gavin Stone, Keaton win. Dodgers minus 164. Giants plus 138. Over under 8.5. Overs even money. Unders minus 122. Dodgers minus 1.5 is minus 102. Giants plus 1.5 is minus 118. I like the over at even money. Now we'll move on to soccer. We will go over the results of note from yesterday and look ahead to notable soccer for today. All right, La Liga, Barcelona over Real Sociedad, 2-0. Today, 1:30, Osasuna and Mallorca at 1:30. Osasuna plus 175, Mallorca plus 185, the draws plus 185. This is about as close as I've ever seen, like a soccer line. Osasuna's in 13th. Mallorca is in 15th. So the draw makes a lot of sense, plus 185. 3:30, Real Madrid and Alaves. Real Madrid minus 600, Alaves 11-1, the draw 6-1. Over 3.5 goals, plus 124. And 4 o'clock, Girona and Villarreal. Girona minus 160, Villarreal plus 330, draw plus 340. I like under 3.5 goals at even money. Premier League, Aston Villa, Liverpool, 3-3 draw. Today, 3 o'clock, you have Tottenham and Man City. Man City minus 300, Tottenham plus 550, draws 5-1. Under 3.5 goals, plus 128. We have Scottish Premiership today, 2:30 of Rangers and Dundee. Rangers minus 800, Dundee 16-1, the draw 7-1. I like under 3.5 goals again here, minus 112. All right, Liga MX. So Sunday night, Cruz Azul and Unam was a 2-2 draw, and Cruz Azul advances 4-2 in aggregate, and Monterrey and Tigres was a 1-1 draw. Monterrey advances 3-2 on aggregate. Serie A from yesterday, Udinese over Lecce 2-0, and Fiorentina over Monza 2-1. I believe there's something else today. I just forget what it is in terms of soccer. So I'm trying to find it. Whatever soccer. I believe there is like U.S. Open Cup or something today. So I'm trying to figure that out. No, we do not have U.S. Open. We do have CONMEBOL. Liga de Quito and Athletic Junior at 6. Penarol, Atletico MG. Talores, Corbasol. 8:30 River Plate and Libertad. And then 10 o'clock is Millonarios and Palestino. And in USL we have today, actually, North Carolina Loudoun at 7 o'clock. North Carolina minus 135, Loudoun plus 350, draw plus 340, or 240. I'm going to go over 2.5 goals, minus 112. All right, now we'll do WNBA opening night. Welcome back, WNBA. You were missed. Caitlin Clark's in the league now. Vegas is going for a three-peat, and the Liberty are trying to win it all as well. So we have a couple of games tonight. 7 o'clock, Liberty Mystics. The Liberty are giving 11 totals, 163.5. I'll take the Mystics getting the point. That's too many points for the Liberty on the road. So I'm taking the Mystics getting 11. I think Liberty win, but Mystics cover. 7:30 on ESPN2, Fever Sun. So you have Caitlin Clark making her highly anticipated debut over the Connecticut Sun, who's still a very talented team, but they are a very veteran-laden team led by Brianna Jones and Alyssa Thomas. Connecticut's giving 6.5 totals, 167.5. I'm taking Indiana plus the points. I don't know if they're going to win outright, but Caitlin Clark, this is a highly anticipated debut. It's just unfortunate that it's going off at the same time as the Knicks game. So I do think that there'll be eyeballs on this, but in the beginning there will be before the Knicks game. So it's kind of like a 30-minute appetizer. So I'll take the Fever getting 6.5 to cover. 10 o'clock on ESPN2, Mercury Aces. So the two-time champs against the Mercury. No Brittany Griner tonight. And the GOAT Diana Taurasi is also hurt. The Aces are probably big favorites. 15, totals 168. I like the under because of the injuries on the Mercury, so I'm going to go with the under. And then also at 10 o'clock, Lynx Storm. I think the Lynx have a chance to stink, and the Storm have a chance to bounce back. We have Kayla McBride and leading the way for the Lynx. And they draft them Alyssa Peely from Utah to go in there. Courtney Williams is on this team. And on Seattle, this team isn't the same without Brianna Stewart or Sue Bird. That's why they're not really relevant anymore. But they still have Jewel Lloyd. They still have Skylar Diggins-Smith. They have Nneka Ogwumike. So they have some veterans in there trying to, bounce back from a dismal year last year. So they're better. Seattle's a 7.5-point favorite, 8-point favorite at home. Total's 164.5. I'm gonna go with the over in this game. I think the line's too high, but I don't want to bet on the Lynx because I think the Lynx stink. So I'm gonna go with the over in that spot. So at gunpoint, who wins? Liberty. I want to say the Fever upset the Sun. Fuck it, I'll do it. Caitlin Clark, baby. Aces, obviously, and then Seattle. Maybe Seattle by like 7, so they barely not cover. All right, season predictions for the WNBA. So the WNBA. This is a very highly anticipated season. Caitlin Clark's in the league now. You have a lot of young stars. So I made my predictions. So, without further ado, here we go. In first place, I have the New York Liberty. I think the Liberty are loaded and are going to be playing with a chip on their shoulder after getting swept in the finals last year. they have their starting five coming back: Brianna Stewart, Sabrina Ionescu, John Coljo's, Benija Lady, and Courtney Vandersloot. This team is absolutely loaded, so they should be at the top of the standings. Second, I have the Vegas Aces. They're a loaded team. Chelsea Gray, Kelsey Plum, Jackie Young, Aja Wilson, Kia Stokes. That's another loaded starting five. It's going to be very close between them and the Liberty. I'm going to go with the Liberty because I think Brianna Stewart's going to have a big chip on her shoulder after not winning the WNBA MVP last year, although Aja Wilson is probably the best player in the sport. So it's very close, but I'll go Liberty 1, Aces 2. Third, I have the Connecticut Sun. I think the Connecticut Sun are a better team than folks are giving them credit for. DeWanna Bonner, Alyssa Thomas, Brianna Jones. So they have some really good players on their team, and I really like Stephanie White as a coach. Fourth, I have the Seattle Storm. I think they have a big bounce-back season as they get Skylar Diggins-Smith and Nneka Agumake in there. Although they do lose Kia Nurse, they lose Tina Charles. But those two veterans coming in with Jewel Lloyd already there, they're poised for a big bounce-back season. Fifth, I have the Dallas Wings. This Dallas team, I think, is going to be pretty solid. They signed Emma Cannon. They lose Diamond DeShields. Natasha Howard, one of the better forwards in the WNBA. Enrique Ogunbali is still there, so they're going to be good. And I really like Maddie Segrest. I think she's really good. Sixth, I have the Atlanta Dream. I think they're a better team than given credit for. They picked up Tina Charles in the offseason. Jordan Canada's a big addition. Cheyenne Parker's still there. Ariel Powers, so they're a veteran-laden team. Nia Coffey. So I think they're going to be a little better. And they're going to bounce back. Although they did make the playoffs last year, but I think they're going to have a better record than they did last year. Seventh, I have the Phoenix Mercury. Once they get healthy, I think they will get there. They have a ton of talent, led by Taurasi and Griner. But they have the depth to overcome it. Rebecca Allen, Natasha Cloud, Kalia Cooper. Allen, I think, is a big pickup. Natasha Cloud, big pickup. Kalia Cooper, big pickup. So, like I said, I think they have the depth to overcome those injuries now. Eighth, the Indiana Fever. That's right. Caitlin Clark's going to make the playoffs in year one. I saw somewhere that they had the Fever in 6, but I think that's too high. I think the expectations are too high early on. But I do think they'll get there. I love Caitlin Clark. They get Katie Lou Samuelson from the Sparks. Erica Wheeler's a decent veteran. Demarius Dantas is injured, but she's a good player. And they get her from the Minnesota Lynx. And Kelsey Mitchell's also a good player. So I'm excited for this team. 9, the Minnesota Lynx. The Minnesota Lynx were a dynasty back in the day. But I don't think they're as good as they used to be. So, Kayla McBride's their best player. We talked about them. Courtney Williams. But I think that's a lottery team. And they'll be taken for Juju Watkins. 10th, the Washington Mystics. This team isn't the same anymore. Elena Deladon's gone. That's unfortunate. Stephanie Dolson's still there. I like their coach, Eric Thibault, but this team is going to be headed for rebuild. Shatori Kimbrough Walker is on this team. They bring in Carly Samuelson. Ariel Atkins is still there. 11th, I have the Chicago Sky. That's another team that's taken a big fall. They do get Angel Reese. So that's the case for them surprising us, and as well as Camelia Cardoso of South Carolina. So they have two really good rookies. In terms of veterans, Lindsey Allen, Isabel Harrison, Diamond DeShields is their best player. Elizabeth Williams is still there. So there's a case for them to be better than expected. And in the bottom, I have the Los Angeles Sparks. This. I just think this team is going to do everything to tank for Juju. And it would be only appropriate for Juju to be a Los Angeles Spark when it's all said and done. Cameron Brick's a good building block for the future. Laisha Clarendon is still there. You have Lexi Brown, Azura Stevens, Tarika Hamby, but this is, to me, the worst team in the league. And honestly, it might not even be close. So, that stinks for the Sparks, but it would be appropriate for Juju Watkins to get drafted there in a year from now. All right, the playoffs. So, Liberty Fever is like a dream series. It's like amazing. I don't know if the playoffs are going to change like last year's did. So, it's going to be interesting. I think they do the 1 through 8 thing again. Yeah. So 1-8 would be Liberty Fever, best of 3. I think this is where the Caitlin Clark story ends in a sweep by the hands of the veteran lane in New York Liberty, led by Brianna Stewart and Sabrina Ionescu. And then you have the 2-7 Vegas against the Mercury. I think this is Aces in 2. They're just better than the Mercury at this point. The 3-6 would be Connecticut Atlanta. I think this would be 2-1 Connecticut, led by Alyssa Thomas and Dewana Bonner. And in Seattle, Dallas is the best of the round 1 series. I'm going to say Seattle 2-1 with home court. And then it would be Seattle Liberty, which would be a lot of fun. Brianna Stewart against her whole team. That would be the best of 5. I'm going to say Liberty in 4. And then Aces Sun. I think Aces in 3. I just think they're a better team than the Connecticut Sun at this point. And the finals is the best of 5. I think Aces Liberty again. And I lied. I forgot the Liberty did win a game in the WNBA finals, but the Aces won 3-1. I thought for some reason that the Liberty got swept. But with home court advantage, I actually do think the Liberty are going to get it done. Brianna Stewart will be the best player in the series. Naja Wilson. And I'm going to say New York Liberty in 5 games to win the 2024 WNBA championship. League MVP, I'm going to say Brianna Stewart. Finals MVP, also Brianna Stewart. Rookie of the Year, Caitlin Clark. Most improved player, I am going to say it's going to be Maddie Siegrist of the Dallas Wings. So that's a good one. And then we have the Defensive Player of the Year. I'm going to say that's going to be Naja Wilson. Sixth Player of the Year, Alicia Clark of Vegas. And then the Coach of the Year, I'm going to say, will be... that's a good one. I'm going to say the Coach of the Year is going to be... I don't feel good about it, but I am going to say Sandy Brundello of the Liberty. So there you have it for the WNBA predictions. Now I'm going to do portfolio. So let's do a WNBA one. Let's have some fun. I'm excited for the season. I think that it's going to be a highly rated season ever. All they have is MVP and Rookie of the Year. And Caitlin Clark is third in MVP odds. Makes sense of that. So, they have win totals? That's crazy. I wanted to make a WNBA future. But I think Breanna Stewart for WNBA MVP is a fun one. But I'm not going to go there. So, I'm going to actually go to another sport. Actually, I'm going to do a parlay of title winners. Liberty to win the WNBA championship. Stanley Cup. Ooh. I'll go with the Dallas Stars. They look the best right now. The NBA. Gonna double down. The Denver Nuggets. MLS. I'm going to double down with Miami. And I want to throw one more in there. I want to. But, baseball, duh. The Phillies are still sitting there at 12-1. Like, what? And why are the Yankees plus 650? They're so overvalued compared to the division rival of the O's. The Orioles plus 150 to win the AL East. That's fun. So I'm going to do $3 on that. So again, Liberty WNBA title, the Dallas Stars to win the Cup, the Nuggets to win the title in the NBA, Inter Miami in soccer, and the Orioles to win the AL East. Over 355 to 1. I'm going to lay 300ths of a unit on it. Okay, to the news and notes. There's a lot of stuff that we have to talk about. So, Kirk Cousins has no beef with the Falcons, as he says hard feelings over Michael Penix's pick aren't helpful. Some schedule leaks. Tom Brady's debut as a Fox analyst will be Cowboys-Browns. And then the Browns use Stephen A. Smith to announce the matchup, who's the biggest Cowboy hater we all know. Bengals-Chiefs in Week 2 in Arrowhead. It doesn't say when, but that's exciting. Maybe that's the CBS doubleheader. The first Monday night game, Aaron Rodgers and the Jets at the 49ers. I had that down for a Sunday night game, I think, but I think I had that as the first Sunday night game. No, I had Rams-Niners as the first Sunday night game, so I have to change that because that's the first Monday night game, because my original pick for first Monday night game was Falcons at Vikings. Bills decided Marquez Valdez-Scantling. So, Josh Allen gets a receiver. Antoine Winfield in the Bucks, 4 years, $84 million. So that's a big contract there. The Jets are concerned with Nate Hackett as the Jets try to hire someone who would essentially replace him. It's kind of like an Eagles situation. And the NFL season opener got announced as well. It's going to be Ravens-Chiefs at Arrowhead. So an AFC title game rematch. Originally, I had Texans-Chiefs because they usually pick the hype team. Last year, they picked the hype team, the Lions, and then how'd that work out? They went in there and won outright. The controversial call in the Mets game, a check swing was called late in the Phillies' win over the Mets. OG Anunoby out tonight against the Pacers, as we talked about earlier. Jared Goff gets an extension, 4 years, $212 million, $170 guaranteed. That's a lot of money, but you could argue he's earned it. Brittany Griner to start the season with the toe fracture will be reevaluated in coming weeks. Talked about that earlier. The Skims and WNBA have a partnership. Among video stars in it are Candace Parker and Kelsey Plum. I should say among the stars in the video. The Cubs and the Mariners make a trade as the Cubs acquired Tyson Miller from Seattle for Jake Slaughter. So, a nice little pickup for the Cubs. Charles Barkley claps back at Mike Malone as Barkley defends previous take on the Wolves series. So, Donovan Mitchell's out for the rest of the series with a calf injury. J.J. Redick is on the list of potential replacements for Darvin Ham as the Lakers are starting to contact potential replacements. NBA GM sent Brian Windhorst his meme as executives are wondering why LeBron was at the Cavs-Celtics game. And then LeBron got a tribute video and standing ovation during the game. So big news is that Coach Cal is making his return to Rupp Arena this year to face his old squad. So that's a college basketball schedule week. 2 to 3 teams meet with Bronny James as they're trying to schedule him for a workout. And the Lakers are significantly favored to draft him over the Knicks. An NBA scout defended Bronny James as the scouts believe Bronny played out of position this past year. The Rockets and the Grizzlies maybe shopping their picks into veteran help. Makes sense, especially for Houston. And Memphis, too. And then Bronny James is medically cleared to be drafted and played ahead of the combine. So, Carson Sosi suspended for cross-checking Connor McDavid after Game 3. That's not great for Vancouver. Valeri Nichushkin placed in Stage 3 of the Players Association Player Assistance Program as he's suspended for 6 months. Not ideal for the Avs. So, some soccer news. Marsh is the new coach of Canada as the former Leeds United boss takes over as the national team manager. And then Bronny is likely staying in the draft after being medically cleared to play. And the 2027 title game in in Vegas, Allegiant Stadium a lock to host the national title game in 3 years, according to Brett McMurphy. So that is interesting. All right, last but not least, my best bet of the day brought to you by FanDuel. I'm going back to the well from the other night. I have to take the over in the Canucks game. I'm sorry, that is just a no-brainer pick. And listen, there's some baseball ones I like too, but no question the over in the Canucks-Oilers game is where I want to go. So, I'm going to lay a 20th of a unit over 6.5 Canucks-Oilers for my best bet of the day. All right, so there you have it for the show, and I'll be back tomorrow recapping everything, look ahead to everything tomorrow. And then tonight I'm going to come out with the schedule predictions show with more leaks starting to come out. Hope you guys have a great day, everyone.